Let's have a look. Now, I have pulled the cards, a majority of them, and I haven't turned them over. So they're all facing down. So the one thing I did pick is something from the past is coming up. There could be a circumstance. This could A, be your shadow. B, it could be a circumstance that comes up that needs dealing with. This could be in a romantic connection. This could be in a memory. It might be, however it's playing out. I'll pick the card up in a minute, but I know it's something that is a little bit problematic. We're going to look at what it is, but there will be a solution. Okay, there will be a solution. Okay, crown chakra. Some of you are feeling pretty tired. Some of you are feeling pretty run down. We have the higher heart chakra and in reverse, and we have awakening. So are you getting headaches? Yeah. Could you feel off and unwell? Yeah. Could you feel like maybe you're a little bit dizzy? Maybe you're a little bit funky? Yes. We've got it coming through with the crowning energy. As above, as below. Your heart chakra, your passion, your healing, your empathy. And, you know, sometimes when we talk about compassion and understanding, we can't be everything to everyone. So we could be a little bit critical of ourselves, maybe for the rest of the month where we're looking at the shadow. We could be thinking to ourselves, okay, have I been kind? Have I been understanding? Why am I triggered? If I'm saying no to a person, does that mean I'm a bad person? You also could feel a little bit in the, you know, the head space at the moment through the third eye, because it is technically the Virgo moon. We had the crown chakra, right? The crown chakra is here, and the higher heart chakra is here. Now, it's in reverse. We haven't reached the Virgo moon, so it's as above, as below. We're facing our shadow. So you may be thinking about your dream, and it could be affecting your aura, and you're like, but how do we do that? How do we do the full 360 to get both? How do we get the dream? Some of you could be dealing with people's energy at the moment, and you could be thinking, gosh, you know, what's going on with them? Why are they reacting? And you may be from a third eye perspective, look, I'm too tired. I don't have the energy for this. And, you know, I even said this to Giggle this morning, is that a lot of this purgatory experience happening in Divine Feminine's life, or anyone for that matter, if we go through it, you know, it's a little bit like when you feel off or you get gastro or anything like that. Usually you have less energy for BS. So if you were enabling someone before, you won't have the energy for it. If you were looking at emotion, you'll look at it just so basically a matter of fact. That can be beneficial for you at the moment. There could be something outside of your situation with people around you at the moment that is causing a little bit of headache, but you're kind of like, look, I'm trying to be over here. I'm trying to look after myself. I'm trying to get my balance back for those of you that are air signs. Now, 2 cards come up for the crowning energy, and they're all face down. I haven't looked at them, and we're going to turn them over now. Okay, now, the bottom of the deck I did see. And in the mix of you gaining success, at the bottom of the deck, you do know ultimately with the steps that you're going to take, you are going to get a positive outcome. You're not willing to entertain or dance with situations that don't have a good outcome. Now, can we potentially, in a huge way, control that? No, we can't directly control the environment. We can control how we deal with it. But I feel you're taking quite a tactical approach. You're feeling, hey, if I recover, I'm going to have more energy. I'll be able to do more. So I'm just going to be kind on myself. There can be another circumstance where it's work-related dynamic and you're looking at it and you're trying to restructure it effectively. For some of you, it can be with individuals that you're currently dealing with, or maybe even a love interest. We just had Venus go direct. We had Mercury that was moving retrograde. We've moved into the new month, and then we're dealing with the polarity of both Pisces and Virgo. And that is to do with our hopes and dreams and aspirations, of just the star. But it's also to do with the practicality, the reality base, not, hey, this is so tense, you know, in order to get my dream, I've got to starve myself for a year. No. What do I have to do to make that happen within a reality setting? What am I actually looking at right now? And what changes and steps do I have to directly make in my life right this very minute? So I feel you are thinking about that in a perspective. Some of you are getting a bit tired, so you're not able to maybe implement some of those things. You're having to nurture yourself so you can get more out of your body. Okay. This makes sense. Like signs and synchronicities. It's like, I'm hearing the term French kiss, and it's reminding me a little bit of the movie, and especially when you're feeling off and you're not feeling that great. You're like, love, ugh, career, ugh. You just, nothing tastes that good. Some of you are trying to not get so triggered by synchronicities. It could be, everything meant something, right? When everything sometimes means less. How do I put it? You got synchronicities in reverse. Lactose intolerance. Yeah, it's like, because you're detoxing off toxicity, right? So when you're doing this detox, this would be the best month to get into light body energy. We've got Mars coming, for the Libra, for instance, your Venus house is going to be activated. So, if you are getting into light body experience, it is an active chakra. It will be relating to your love life. It will be relating to, your money, your values, your body. At the moment, you could be going through a bit of a detox. Gemini, for instance, you're still recovering from Venus retrograde. The Virgo moon will react like a Mercury retrograde. We've already seen signs and synchronicities relating to that. So yes, in your mind, you could feel like you're going over things, and you could be looking at analytics and struggling and thinking, gosh, how do I really get this sorted? Maybe I don't see a solution. You may need to step back from a situation for a minute just to let it solve. For Gemini, I would say especially, I feel you guys wanting to move hell and high water. I feel you're wanting to get things moving in a positive sense. You could have a lot to do with your purpose coming up. You also may be a little bit critical on your home environment. It could be that you feel all of a sudden you want to move things about. It could be that you're looking at things and saying, hey, do I want to run a business from home? Could I do that? Could I balance it? You also can have your inner child activating. But I'm also feeling that, needing to be so many things. I feel some of you could be challenging your emotions and saying, okay, maybe I've been waiting for other people to do the things that I can actually do. Maybe I don't have the skill to do that. Maybe I need to Google something on YouTube. Maybe I need to learn how to do a certain task. But there could be something in a sense of renovating, beautifying, clearing, organizing that you're needing to put your intellectual mind into. And I feel some of you are going to address that. I do feel if you're having a healthy boundary, with individuals, it could be coming up towards family, home. Some of you could be thinking about moving home. Some of you are coming to terms with emotions relating to what you believed a connection was in the past. But also be very mindful of making choices to do things for people over feeling obligated. Aquarius. And I'm going to talk about each of you, and then I'll move on to the rest of it. And it's only because on this one, my guides have asked me to. For those of you that are Aquarius, again, you can feel at the minute with these transits, we've only just moved out of that Capricorn polarity. Some of you are still recovering from it. Some of you are feeling this nervousness to do with your purpose. You also could be quite burdened. I feel your self-esteem as well can be coming up. This can be your net worth, your career, your money, almost feeling this fuel that you could be tapping into your divine masculine. Like, I need to get things done. I feel some of you could be looking at your emotions in association with eating patterns, your external appearance over your internal, how you're directly feeling with it. Some of you from an emotional point of view can feel that the communication can come out toxically, accidentally so. But what it's showing you is something inside that needs healing, and it can be relating to the inner child. I also feel, these things can come up passionately. These things, especially with the Virgo moon in the mix, really focusing on what you can depend on. The anxiousness can come again from stability. I do feel if you've lost people in the past, you could have emotions relating to this, but, again, it's what you can do within your control, regardless of what's going on in other people's lives. I feel it's redirecting your energy and showing you what personally is going on with you, very separately to a connection or a contract. Some of you, if you are really hating your job, it can be that you're moving contracts. Some of you are looking for more sense of stability, but it could be something as simple as doing budgeting, paperwork. It may be, tying up loose ends and bills. But again, psychologically and at an emotional level, you're wanting a very deep connection. But the external could be mirroring what's going on. I feel it's important to understand the bigger picture with each of us, okay? So for Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, you're aiming for the bigger picture. Does it mean it's going to arrive right away? Nah, not for everyone. Doesn't mean it's happening. Yes, it is. I feel that we are guided to not rush and where angels fear to tread. I feel we're still needing to take steps forward regardless of what is going on in the 3D. So regardless of what they are doing, what you are doing in your life is key. How you show up, having the faith to actually move forward with all things, with circumstances and tension points coming up in your life so you can get the start. Does that mean a tower moment may have occurred and has occurred in life? Yes. Does it mean you're moving forward with you knowing full well infinite potentialities can happen? Yes. Does it mean you're going to get the start? Yes, because we get, even though we may have experienced a tower moment, even though emotionally, because some of you are thinking, gosh, it's going to be like this forever. And I feel you need to tune out of that. I feel you're needing to move into your bliss. I feel you need to trust the process. Let's look at this card of the past. I knew it was bloody shitty. Okay, fragmented. Let's pull a clarifier. Could it be a breakdown in communication? Yes. Could it be a breakdown in situation? Could you break something? Yes, you could break something. Okay, so be careful, especially in exerting yourself, especially with how could I put it? Rushing, right? Be careful with that. We've got fragmented. Some of you are feeling everything is ruined. Okay, everything is broken, everything's ruined. Why is it every time I get something good, it always goes bad? If I jump forward, is it going to turn into a tower? What if I have to create a healthy boundary and say, look, I personally am not doing the XYZ. I'm going to pull a clarifier. What is this? There could have been a breakdown. There could have been a feeling of feeling quite broken for a bit. What is this in association? Some of you may be picking up on a situation that is falling to pieces. Some of you, if you're wanting that forward movement, this can be with a direct individual. You may be feeling like this person isn't quite themselves. What you need to understand, it's not your job to save that individual. It's not your job to convince that individual that their situation is toxic. It is for them to see. Okay, there is a healing going on, I do believe, and this is coming through quite a romantic read. Okay, I do directly, generally channel these messages from a psychic point of view of what comes through, but what I'm physically seeing here is with all parties involved at the moment in mid-month, especially for those of you associating with career and love, that for some of you, we're kind of split in the collective at the moment. Half the octane is looking at the deeper reason why things happen, and we're looking at it from a logical, non-monkey mind polarity. The other half is looking at it from a victim consciousness point of view, from a stress, a reactivity, an overactive masculine. Whereas we have to balance the yin to the yang, which is the emotion, feminine. I'm having a feeling to do with this situation. The reality is I have been saying the same thing. It is driving me crazy. Maybe I have to move forward. The thing that it's showing you is if it's another person's frequency, much ado about nothing is. How you show up is what the outcome will be. Now, if you're dealing with a circumstance and you're like, the person I'm in love with, the person I'm dealing with is quite broken, and I'm trying to have a functioning relationship with them, the reality is that's their job, okay? You can't make that person be where they need to be. Your fear could be this person is never going to be the same again. One would hope not, because we always change. It doesn't need to be that it's a negative thing. I do feel this person is coming back to fix broken fences, but it also can't fix the damage of your emotions that are there and the heart chakra that you are needing to clear, okay? That is yours. Once the wound's put there, let me put it this way. When we say an apology won't fix that. It is because if we can't let it go emotionally and lower our guards and let people into love, even if they do mean the best of intents, that they're never going to hurt you again, if your psyche and your heart is that wounded and won't let people in, you're preventing yourself from living a very blissful life. So the work that we do on ourselves does end up being solely on our own in a heart chakra healing. Heart chakra is coming up. You guys are Venus in nature as well. So if my twin was to come back and say sorry to me, if I wasn't in that mindset of understanding the bigger reasons why, right? Looking above it, understanding and allowing somebody to come in towards me and not personalizing it. Did it happen to me? Yes, it did. Were there other reasons why that situation happened? 100%. Was it about me? Actually, no. It happened to me. It wasn't about me. But that comes into the Ascended Master energy where we can actually look at it from an external point of view and say, okay, in order to have that star, what chain of events would need to happen? Do we need to pull the tower down so that we can have the success? Because you can't get the star without the tower. These can be breaking old patterns, believing in oneself, taking direct actions and steps, moving forward. Whenever I'd move forward, I'd always get a telephone call. It can also be taking actions within your career. Okay. Now, you can't lose what's yours. I feel a lot of you are moving into your destiny. Okay. I do feel some of you, and sometimes that can be the deepest, hardest thing that we are facing in our life. It's like, because you inwardly knew that this was a connection. You know, and I'm going to read it first from a romantic point of view, and I'm going to go back and channel it from the other psychic energies that are coming through, because there is a few, but majority of it is romantic in nature. I do feel this is destiny and orientation. Some of you need to understand that during these transits in a shadow phase, if this is relating to a romantic connection, both masculines and feminines can be facing their shadows, going back over old habits, and sometimes returning to a karmic. Now, does it mean they're remaining? No, it doesn't. And it doesn't mean that when they're going back, is it for a romantic liaison? No, I'm actually not feeling so. I feel it's more so for a conversation piece and a viewpoint. But this, in fact, is if it's destined, right? And you are meant to be with this individual, you are going to be with this individual. It's going to be. I feel some of you are actually looking at your purpose. Some of you are stepping into your divine feminine. Some of you are moving into your divine masculine. And what does that mean? Who do I believe in the bigger midst of things, very separate to all connections, all things, am I? What is my full potential I can be? And I'm noticing Aquarius on the card. I'm noticing Jupiter on the card. I'm noticing Taurus. And I'm noticing the Lion. Okay? Your hopes and dreams and aspirations and your bliss at a foundation level, everything had to happen so that you would have your toolkit. Everything had to happen so that you could turn into this person you were meant to be. Even the horrible things. Now, if you're thinking that you are going to move into life and never have adversity, it's a lie. If you are thinking you have better control and you are more equipped to deal with adversity, 100%. We have the Ouija board here in reverse. If you are thinking you are cursed and you're always going to get this, you're actually manifesting it. Because you're believing something is totally psychologically out of your control. The thing that is in your control is if you see a rat and you're acknowledging a circumstance is playing it and you're dancing with it, it's because you're scared if you let go, it won't transform. I feel for those of you that are doing that, you continue to get the same outcome because the cake hasn't been made differently. For those of you that are letting go, some of you may be saying, well, I don't understand. You know, I'm not maybe seeing signs and synchronicities. Maybe the readings aren't resonating with me. I'm moving forward. Am I a twin? Am I a karmic? Why is this happening? It's not to do with you. This is what this journey always shows us. Just because you've moved into alignment, it doesn't mean to say that that other person's situation isn't cycling out. It's not done on our clocks. It's done in divine timing. I feel it's very close, but I feel that the importance is the steps that you're taking is so that you don't recreate karma. You don't recreate the merry-go-round and you're directly breaking a cycle. I do feel something is very intentional for the rest of this month with you guys. And I feel it's almost like drawing a line in the sand. You're like, look, Do I know in life I'm going to have crap in my life? 100%. Do I know that what I'm moving towards is my destiny, my dreams, my hopes? Yes. And I will focus on that. I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on what I have in control. Having the courage to deal with these things. Having the faith in myself. Also, a request may be given to you to jump in the deep end. If you're going into it fearing in a shadow sense that it's going to happen again, you kind of miss the point of the ascension. The point in ascension will get to a place where it doesn't define you. So if you have that person, you're in bliss. And if you don't have that person, you're in bliss. Because it does become, in an ascended master point of view, that it is your responsibility, spiritually, psychologically, to say, hey, you know, it's raining outside, but I'm still having a great day. I'm still going to, you know, I'm not pushing people out of my life. I'm not hiding from my life. I'm living my physical life. When you look at the tower differently, that's when you understand with every tower you get a star. It's because you're breaking a pattern. Any fall down, grazed your leg, is a process of elimination to do something differently. I feel some of you in your career sector, to be perfectly honest, there's something inside of you that's changing. There's a value system inside of you guys changing. I feel where you felt broken, you're starting to move into the recovery. Some of you are still stuck though, and you may need coaching. I'll just be perfectly honest, because we do have two negative cards here. But the frequency that's coming through, some of you are so matter of fact. I'm very intentionally making decisions that is going to take me to my higher purpose and goals. This may take me a while. This may frustrate me. It could question where your passion is. It may question, okay, well, if you're doing something and it's something that you don't feel is in alignment with you, it's really going to tell you, hey, I have no passion for this. But there's something in an attitude sense that is directly changing, that's happening inside. I feel some of you, your third eye is becoming stronger. It's protecting you against psychic attacks. Some of you are too in the emotion, and you're like a rat in a cage going in circles with a pattern, and you actually, your reactivity is to do with something inside. It's to do with your belief system. So it's like you're cycling, you're going in circles. And it's funny because the gentleman in the table is red, right? Yellow, inner child, touching his head, third eye, Mercury, right? Sitting there, much ado about nothing. Now, there's a time and a place, and I'll put in the community tab. There is a difference between when to think on something and when not to. And it's circle of concern, and that's mind mastery. I remember years ago when we had Chiron in Pisces. Oh, I remember saying, I need a lobotomy. I'm going to have to work out how I don't become sensitive to the environments. Yeah, it's great when we have synchronicities, but you can smell it, you can feel it, and it comes in. So in this, collectively, for all air signs, what you need to understand is that the way you master this frequency is very important. Some of you, as I mentioned, are going in circles. Some of you are more, I'm blocking out anything that is not for me. So for instance, if you have a dream in mind and you are operating from a place of fear, you will try to mull over the way to play chess so that you don't get pulled out of the game, which is, it can be manipulation, it can be tactical, it can be intelligence. But what I'm seeing is if there's a fear-based frequency, that your life is always going to be dangerous, horrible, scary. You're always going to attract the same energy. The pattern's still going to happen with this person. It can't happen if you are changing, because your power is in your own vortex to relate to the circumstance differently. So for some of you, I do feel your problem solving inside of career. For some of you, if you have been on the fence to do with love and your own purpose in life, I feel whatever is within your control, focus on that. Whatever isn't, you're going to be in a rat race, paranoid, scared, worried. It's causing angst. Yeah, I did do a bit of channeling at the beginning of it, which was sign by sign. Okay, there's your hopes and dreams and aspirations, but it's the human psychology. So Like I said, for Libra, for instance, this is your wellness. This is your routine. It could be you feeling like, oh my God, I'm doing eat, pray, repeat. But again, it's your wellness. There can be subjects to do with pets going on. There can be subjects to do with your dreams. You could be getting a lot of psychic attacks in the beginning of the month. And now it can be starting to dissipate and it's calming down. Your heart chakra activation is going to clear. But again, for you, Libra, the moon in Virgo, it can be casting a critical eye on these things. So you can be very intellectual. And again, it's your human psychology. It's your 12th house. So you guys are doing a bit of shadow work, but you can be more inclined to psychic attacks. You can be more inclined to being tired, but it can prevent you from enabling people. It can give you some major breakthroughs this month on how to see a situation. If it's your career and you're really tuning into it and you're thinking, gosh, how can I actually bust through? How can I break out the gate? Are we passionate about this? Is this something I can really do in a technical kind of way? To look at this. If it's relating to love, again, some of you in a shadow sense feel you're in quite a routine. Some of you are requiring a more traditional connection. You're attracted maybe to something different now. Can there be more passion coming through? 100%, because we're having placements transiting your Venus house. So those of you that do have that star sign, don't be surprised if you get movement. But the big question is going to be, are you ready? Are you going to jump in the deep end, or are you going to get scared and you're going to get up in your head? Gemini. Your career sector is really activated, but it's what you can do. It's what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. How people's emotions directly affect you. How dealing with other people sometimes has been conflicting. What your value systems is, and it can be, again, there's a lot of tradition coming through these reads at the minute. I feel, for Gemini at the minute, I do feel that you're looking at things very strictly, that you're wanting to be maybe wined and dined and treated like a king or a queen. You're wanting to be respected and honored and understood. You want to build with somebody, but you also want to have your autonomy. So some of you can be thinking, do I want a relationship? Is a connection going to give me that autonomy that I need, as well as to have the connection? I feel some of you are really missing your friends. Some of you want to have those connections in with friends. Let's have a look at Gemini. Some of you, I also feel that you're kind of wanting to get life in order. And again, I was seeing something to do with home and family, like a change. Some of you are feeling maybe you want to move home. Aquarius, very stressed energy. And it's funny because you guys are Saturn and energy. So can you be coming through really firmly? Yes, you can be. There's always the higher octane of each zodiac sign, and there's the lower. On the lower side of things, could you be coming through quite like this is wrong and that is right? 100%. But it is showing you something inside of you of an expectation sense and a value sense. And it is coming through at the moment after we had Venus retrograde in Capricorn. It's coming through really traditionally. Not everyone was cut from the same cloth. And this is something we directly need to understand. Emotionally, I feel self-esteem is coming up. Emotionally, you're focused on your money and your net worth. You want to be more than what you have been before. Some of you could be feeling that you need to be like a bloody supermodel to get anything, and it's not true. Again, it's as within, as without. You've got transits through the second house. I do feel you guys do have luck on your side. I feel that you could have the major breakthrough, and it's a major decision, but some of you can be choosing what you want to do, be it it's relating to career or location or, how that's going to look. But this pressure point is like something's got to give. You want to make it, you want to put some roots down. That's how it's coming through. So the roots that you're wanting to put down, you kind of feel you don't want to uproot the tree and have to redo it. So the anxious and the anger that can be coming through is due to that. So I would say, if the external is affecting your decision-making, look what you will be willing to live with. Choose what you feel you will be willing to live with that is in your circle of concern and say, look, I need to focus on my bliss. But it's almost this, half of us are jumping in my angel's fair tread, the other's walking into it and going, look, there's infinite ways this can go. I'm just going to move into it. We're going to see how it goes. But there is something from the past, in a sense, that we're looking at that's broken. And I do feel we're having to put our energy into it to fix it, to make it better. The other is that a person from the past is coming back, and it's not for us to enable whomever is around us at the moment. I feel the frequency is not to project, to reflect. And the reflection is, what can I do within my circle of concern right now to get my life back in balance? Because I feel a lot of you are quite tired. Last card. Yeah. Have faith. Have faith in yourself and what you're worth. Don't, be free to be you. Don't feel, and being you doesn't mean we have to let go, right? So we've got to let go of wounds. Being free is the work that we do on ourselves, is to reach closure, is to be at peace. It's to know that anything that is for us is always going to come towards us. But not to keep thinking, God, I'm always going to get, I'm always going to get Parmesan cheese. It's like, I love Parmesan cheese, I'm just saying, but stop thinking that everything terrible is going to happen. Actually be open to a positive experience. Because I do feel with the Star card here, something from the past is coming back to benefit you. But some of you, if you still are psychologically in the past, you're going to block your blessings. Okay? We're going to go on to water signs. Yeah. We're having to let something go. Now, I do feel there's benefits. I do feel for some of you, you could be in alignment and an openness. I do feel there can be a conversation with a past tense person. You're needing to hear this person out. But let them talk. Let them talk so you can then respond. But only respond from your side of the fence. I feel in a career sector sense or a purpose sense. You could even have people coming to you for advice. I'm just saying it, okay? Any questions in the house before I come back and do the water signs? How do you think about that then? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a surprise one. We had a few technical issues this morning, and I was like, we'll do earth, air, fire, water. Let's have a look in. Happy Monday, peeps. Okay. Any questions before I come back and do the water signs? I think all of us are pretty tired at the moment, so we're really dragging our bodies trying to get things done. And I think as psychics and astrologers, we're much doing the same. We're keeping on it, but getting the cards ready for the next one. Any chit-chat while I'm here? Wonder what water signs are coming in with. You're feeling good. Cool. I've been feeling pretty tight. It's been quite strange, especially over the weekend. For me, it was, there was a little bit of frustration, frustration, niggliness, a bit of moodiness. Nothing major. Everything was like I was a fly on the wall. Really? Interesting. Yeah, it's quite strange. Oh boy. What's coming up for you emotionally? Man, by the time, I was even talking to Twin about this, by the time we had talked through our separation and reconciliation, it was a conversation. I pretty much was like, this is what I hope for. If that's not possible, sweet. There was no arguing. It was just a statement piece. It wasn't, because you can't do anything about how that other person is reacting. Now, if you're aware that person is in a karmic relationship, well, that has to be resolved, and that's on their time. That's on where, that's within their power. That's not within your power. You can, and you are within your right to say, look, I don't want to be in a third party situation. I actually am looking, I love myself and I am open to a connection. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm looking for. Am I open to a third party connection? No, because I deserve more. I deserve better. And that's where I'm at. Yeah, no? But would I advise going in and, you know, bringing all the dirt up from the past? Probably not best. Gauge the person's energy first, especially if you haven't seen each other for ever so long. You're going to talk about it, okay? Yeah, but I mean, if they're in a karmic relationship and they're coming to see you, like, are they still in the romantic karmic relationship? You know what I mean? It's like actually saying to the person, look, until that's solved, it's kind of like a hello and a goodbye, and it depends on the context. I mean, if they're living with the karmic and you do not know what's happening behind closed doors. We cannot presume whether it is or it isn't, but they're under the same roof and they're having a cycle together, and it's a you know, when we're very comfortable with it and we're saying, hey, you know, this has come to a close, this has to go, unless that person can actually follow through with that, much of the transition is remaining the same. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to keep your eye on your goal of what you want in life. Let's see. I'm going to move on to water signs in a minute. I'm pulling the cards. I'm going to have a bit of a goose. Interesting. So did you get to any root cause issues, or did you have any breakthroughs in the conversation piece? Yes. Let's get into the water signs. I shall be back. He is still running from himself, which then got me thinking about me. Well, that's the problem. So it's a coaching session. I'll leave it.